Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303, episode 282, the final part of the 2024 NBA Futures Series with the Atlantic and Pacific divisions. For myself, Jermaine Colon Mendez, this is my co-host. As always, we have with us the executive producers, the EPE, and how you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. Excited for this episode.
Yeah, I believe that.
Oh, boy.
Finish one episode and just ready to throw it in. Quick, this is a big day for him. Big day. 2 episodes? 2?
Oh, boy.
2?
I was just sitting here having a good time watching these girls dance.
Bro, as soon as last episode ended, this was you. Your head went back. You just start rubbing your face, sighing all ridiculous.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just got negative mannerisms too. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Mannerisms.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm hungry, but I'm in a good mood.
Oh, that's why. You're not in a good mood. Eric's never been hungry a day in his life, dude.
Hey.
Lonzo Ball, 6 points, 1 board, 1 assist.
Hey, hooping?
Default comeback player of the year?
If he plays more than 25 games, yes.
25 is the bar.
If he plays more than 25 minutes, yes. That
Well,
dude's been away from basketball for half a decade, bro. It's crazy.
Since he joined Chicago. You know what I blame?
You guys in first place for like 60 games and then hasn't played again for you.
Dude, we were so good. What a fucking bummer. He you know what I blame messed him up?
That he's so light skinned?
Jesus, that was unexpected racism. Should make a t-shirt that says that.
What got
his knee got messed up because of his dad's shoe company. Changed my mind.
Well, like I said on the previous episode, he's the only good thing to come out of that family. Well,
LaMelo
the mother seems like a nice thing.
LaMelo and LiAngelo are awesome too. It's purely LeVar.
Nah, they got too much of LeVar in them.
They all scientifically.
They got 50%.
Yeah, dog,
I think he got 49%. The rest got 51.
Oh my goodness! Leave it to Eric just to skew his talking points however he wants. Well, we're obviously not starting with the Atlantic Division, so let's go ahead and get into the Pacific Division. Any burning questions? I would love to try to mess with you again, but you get all mad if I ask you a question and you're not prepared.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I thought American Olympians.
That's on me for being
American
so close-minded. You know what I mean? That's not my fault.
Who gets the number 1 overall pick? Got to pick right now. Season hasn't started. Washington.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're gonna have the best odds to get it, but I can't predict the lottery because it's a wild motherfucker. But I think Washington will have the best odds to get it.
All right. How about this? Who finishes with the worst record?
Washington.
I was just waiting for you to do it again, dude.
Brooklyn. Washington. I'm sticking with Washington.
I think it's Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn's going to be really bad too, but, Washington.
You just don't like Jordan Poole. That's all it is, dude.
I can't stand that dude, bro.
He's going to have a good year, dude. It's going to piss you off.
I hope Kuzma leaves and goes somewhere where he can contribute to a championship.
It's funny how Kuzma is just as much of a shithead, but we all like Kyle Kuzma.
Because he doesn't do shit on the court.
It's his... What are you talking about?
He hoops. All he does is hoop.
And wear big pink yarn sweaters.
Yeah, well, I don't judge players on that. I can only go on what's on the court. The product you give me on the court.
You lying sack of shit. Nobody believes you right now.
That's right.
Let's get into it.
All right, so we're going to start with the Pacific Division in the Western Conference of the NBA. Last year's finishing order, the Clippers finished first. The Phoenix Suns finished second. The Los Angeles Lakers finished third. Sacramento Kings finished fourth. And the Golden State Warriors finished fifth. All right. So For the Phoenix Suns, predicted to be first in this division this year. For the finals, plus 3,500. To win the division, plus 215. To make the playoffs, minus 210. To miss the playoffs, plus 170. Their over-under is 47.5.
Apologies if that scream scared you. Zach LaVine was playing good defense. Underrated defender, I will admit. People give him way too much flack on that side. On Ant.
Oh!
And someone just cut, and they...
Every time Lonzo jumps, my heart drops.
Dude, stop. Splash.
Buckets! Oh, we shouldn't have this on while we record.
No, we should, dude. It's Lonzo Ball Day.
Too many hoop heads, dude.
October 16th, from here on out, is Lonzo Ball Day. Every year, we celebrate with cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream? I'm on board. Baskin Robbins.
I don't even like it. Oh no, we're not making you go full Rain Man.
No man,
not
I
on
want
Lonzo Day.
Ball flavored ice cream.
Bro, that'd be
I wonder
fire.
what he likes. He seems like a coffee type of guy.
I bet you he's a cherry guy.
Maybe coffee cherry. Seems like
It'll be called the comeback cherry cordial.
All right, I'm done with you. Let's go on.
Why? Because that's a fire Baskin Robbins flavor name, and you know it, dude.
Get into the practice shit with Phoenix Suns. Dickhead.
Why am I the dickhead? We all know. Phoenix Suns, first place. We'll get into the departures and additions here. They're pretty hamstrung, especially with the new collective bargaining agreement coming into effect. Still somehow made some moves. They brought Bobo back on a one-year deal. Damian Lee, Josh Okogie, and Royce O'Neal. They brought back O'Neal on a 4-year deal, Okogie on a 2-year deal. Added Tyus Jones on a 1-year deal. EJ Liddell was traded to them via the Hawks. Monty Morris came in on a 1-year deal. Actually, I don't know how many years. Mason Plumlee. They lost Drew Eubanks to the Jazz. Eric Gordon left for the 76ers. Daryl Morey can't help himself. And David Roddy joined the Hawks. Let's get a look at their full roster. I mean, everyone knows that they have the big three. Whoa, what? That's not.
And not much after that.
That's not the roster. Why are you giving me team stats? Anyways, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. They fixed their point guard position, I think, with Monty Morris and Tyus Jones. Notorious backups, but together, you know, they're kind of like the Wonder Twins. They can form one full-fledged starting point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Center position leaves something to be desired. Mason Plumlee cannot get hurt. They don't have anyone else really down there unless Bobo takes the leap that Shaq thinks he can. And thoughts on this team, Eric?
So there's absolutely no depth there. I think they're going to be hamstrung by that. I think this is going to be the team that proves we're moving out of the super team era because they are like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Holy cow, that is a crazy 1-2 punch. Then you throw in one of the best spot shooters in the league, Bradley Beal. Excellent. Does Budenholzer have enough to does Budenholzer have enough on his roster to like take a complete team to make the playoffs? I think Tyus Jones is a huge addition. Monty Morris as well. Like you said, the Wonder Twins. It's not like one guy's going to go out there and be your starting point guard who changes the dynamic of the team. Man, I have them finishing under the 47.5. I do think they'll make the playoffs. That Kevin Durant's not going to miss the playoffs. And I have them finishing second in this division. Regular season, they're still going to, I think they'll still get, what did they get last year? 49 wins?
They got 49.
49 wins. I think they'll be right around that again this year. And then also Durant and Booker having that Olympic time together will help them as well.
Yeah, I think this team wins the division.
Hey, man.
I think they're a lot better than people are giving them credit for. I think they went out and addressed their issues, and they'll have to figure out what the fuck to do with Bradley Beal. I don't think you could start him, but
shouldn't.
I think he should come off and be the best sixth man in the league.
Yeah.
Get him an award in that cabinet since he ain't got nothing else playing with the Wizards. But look, man, Royce O'Neal, Devin Booker, Okogie, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Tyson Jones, Damian Lee, Bobo, Yusuf Nurkic, Monty Morris, Kevin Durant, Frank Kaminsky, Ty Washington, and Mason Plumlee. It's a better rounded roster than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
And this team plays in a division that is just giant question marks. I mean, from last place to first place, based on over-under totals, there's only 7 games separating them.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be tight.
I'm going Phoenix to win this division. I'm going. Oh, that's a great question. Do I have them going over or under though? Yeah, I don't. Yes, I have them going over. I'll take the over.
Over, okay. One thing I will say that I probably should give him a little bit of credit here is that Bradley Beal was often injured last year.
Yeah, I mean,
so he couldn't stay on the court. He couldn't build that chemistry with them. So maybe if he's healthier this year, we see a better version of him. But I'm just not a big fan of putting $150 million into 3 players.
Like, this is fool's gold.
Yeah,
from the Bulls, right?
What's happening right
Josh
now?
Giddey just hit a step back 3.
No, man, I'm telling you, dude.
If this is how they play, this is a 45-win team, dude. No, from a roster construction standpoint, putting that much money into it is pretty bad. But I mean, the pieces they have around them: Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal. Love how they solved their point guard position, someone to actually run the offense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I'm really kind of a fan of this team this year, and plus 215 to win the division is pretty freaking good. So give me that for sure. I think they get 48 wins.
All right. Oof. All right. So last year's 4th place team, Sacramento Kings, are projected to finish 2nd this year, plus 7,500 for the NBA Finals, plus 280 to win the Pacific Division, minus 145 to make the playoffs, plus 120 to miss the playoffs. 46.5 is their over-under.
Yeah, so the Sacramento Kings returned Alex Len and Malik Monk on a 1- and 4-year deal, respectively. They added DeMar DeRozan via sign and trade. They had Jalen McDaniels join them from the Raptors, but then shipped him off unceremoniously to the Spurs, who then cut him. Jordan McLaughlin joined on a 1-year deal, and Orlando Robinson also on a 1-year deal. They traded Harrison Barnes also to the Spurs. They traded Chris Duarte to the Bulls, Davion Mitchell to the Raptors, wish the Bulls would have got him, and Sasha Vezenkov to the Raptors as well. And let's see, we'll go ahead and get into this total roster. They have Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, Skal Labissiere, Kevin Huerter, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Keon Ellis, Alex Len, Trey Lyles, and where I said Domantas, huh? Wow, they've really thinned out depth-wise. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Give us your thoughts, Eric.
So this one might be just a little bit of bias just because I want it so badly.
Because you picked them to win it last year too?
Yeah, so I'm going to go. They're going to win the division. They'll make the playoffs, and they'll go over the 46.5. I do think, like you said, they lost a little bit of depth. They didn't really get – they may have gotten worse at defense. But they got a solid mid-range guy who's going to be clutch in the fourth quarter for them, even though they already have one of the best fourth-quarter clutch players. This is just a love for the city and team. I'm going to go division winner, yes, playoffs, over the wins. I
mean, look.
Best team in California this year.
Obviously, you have them winning the division, Eric. It's fucking 1, 2, 3, bro. I don't know what to do with his team. They got the taste of the playoffs and then floundered last year. They have Leandro Barbosa and Doug Christie on the assistant coaching staff. I'm just not thrilled, man. I'm just not thrilled. I've seen a step back. The only reason why I have them making the playoffs, I have under 46. No, I'll take over 46.5. No for everything else. The only reason I'm not completely out on the Sacramento Kings this year is because De'Aaron Fox is in a contract year, and you bet on great players with that dog in them in contract years. De'Aaron Fox is a fun bet for MVP, especially if the Sacramento Kings can finish with the top 3 seed. So I'll take the over. Yes, to make the playoffs and nothing else. But Mike Brown needs to prove it this year.
Yeah. All right.
Because everyone thought they would beat the Warriors, and the Warriors whooped that ass and won a championship, and then they didn't make it back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, bro, they didn't even make – oh, they did make the play-in, right?
Last year?
Hold on. What's PB mean? Clinched play-in berth. Yeah, they made the play-in. Yeah. They made the play-in.
They lost to Zion, didn't they? No.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's so much. But, yeah, so moving into the next team in the Pacific, they finished 5th last year. The projector finished 3rd this year, the Golden State Warriors. Finals odds, plus 3,500 to win the division, plus 350. To make the playoffs, minus 115. To miss it, minus 105. Their over-under is 44.5.
Yeah, they resigned Steph Curry to a 1-year extension. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, came over on a 3-year deal. Buddy Hield signed and trade with the 76ers. DeAnthony Melton came over in a 1-year deal. Lindy Waters III, your girl's hall pass, was traded to them from the Thunder. They lost Chris Paul. They waived his ass. Dario Saric left in free agency to the Nuggets, and Klay Thompson was signed and traded to the Dallas Mavericks. Let's take a look at their complete roster here. Gary Payton II, Jonathan Kuminga, Kyle Anderson, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, Kevon Looney, Buddy Hield, DeAnthony Melton, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Kevin Knox II, Trace Jackson Davis, and that's really it. Thoughts?
So I like who they added. Buddy Hield, going to move without the ball, hit shots. DeAnthony Melton played for the Sixers for a long time. The guy is going to give you a lot of energy on both ends of the court. Slow-mo, I think the podcast is just a big fan of the guy. We're going to see a little bit more of the youth involved in this team this year.
He's got one of the best nicknames, dog.
Slow-mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a little bit more of the youth this year. I don't think they're a bad team. So the way I have it finishing for them is they'll be under the 44.5. I think it'll be like 42, 41. They'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be a play-in team. They'll finish 4th in this division. Don't get it twisted. I can see them finishing 2nd. You know what I mean? Like, this division's crazy, but just the youth might take a little bit of time to get there. Draymond's a little older. Steph's a little older. Kerr's a great coach, though. But that's just what I'm rocking with. 4th in division. Yes, they'll be in the play-in. And under the 44.5.
4th is disrespectful. Flagrantly disrespectful. The Golden State Warriors will hit the over 44.5. They will finish 2nd in this division. Jonathan Kuminga will win most improved player, and he will be handed the keys to the offense this year.
That'd be sick.
I am so in on this team. I like the roster construction. They have great shooting. Jonathan Kuminga is what I wish Patrick Williams was. He attacks the rim like John Morant. He plays defense like Kawhi Leonard. If he gets even a modicum of a jump shot, which he started showing last year, and they start giving him and letting him run offense, which by Klay Thompson, right? Andrew Wiggins, you ain't starting no more. You a bum. No disrespect. I know you had some family issues. You're not really a bum. You won a world championship. Get off my back. You also got paid $35 million a year. Fuck off. But you a bum. Dude, I'm in on Golden State this year. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. But dude, every year they lose people from their coaching staff and they re-up. Terry Stotts, Ron Adams, Bruce Frazier, Chris DeMarco, Steve Kerr. Like, what are we doing? Why are we letting this team do all this? And adding Buddy Hield. This team is literally about to do a poor man's Boston Celtics. They're going to try to lead the league in 3-point attempts per game.
And they're going to succeed.
And Boston shot 108 in 2 games in the preseason. 108, Eric. They hit They hit like 38. Analytics says that's good. And I'm just like, dog, what? Because you get an extra point at basket, you still miss 70 shots.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I'm in on the Golden State Warriors. Call it a gut feeling. Obviously, subscribe to the podcast motto, fade us. Eric has them in fourth. One of us will be right, or none of us will be when they finish fifth and Steph Curry is traded to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Say less, dude. No, it's another guy who's often injured. No, I don't want him. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This motherfucker.
All right, moving into the next team in this division. Last year's third place finisher, the Los Angeles Lakers, are projected to finish fourth this year. Plus 3,000 for the final. How do they finish fourth and whatever? To win the division, plus 425. To make the playoffs, minus 105. To miss the playoffs, minus 115. And their over-under is 43.5.
What, you were going to talk about their finals odds?
Yeah, like how are you going to have better?
Because nobody can beat this team. Not nobody. It's really difficult to beat this team 4 games in a series, dog. Are they good in the regular season? Probably not. Will they be in the play? Will they be in the play-in again?
The last time
Probably.
I saw this team win a best-of-7 series was when they won that bullshit championship.
No, that's not true. They just made it to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago.
They got smacked up.
You just said the last time they won a best of 7.
What I said.
Oh my goodness. Words and things and meanings. Max Christie returned on a 4-year deal. LeBron James signed a 2-year deal despite telling us he may retire or he may go somewhere else. Christian Coloco signed a 2-way deal. They lost Spencer Dinwiddie to the Mavs and Taurean Prince joined the Bucks. And, you know, I bet you Lakers fans are thrilled to not have Taurean Prince anymore. They fucking cut that guy all the time. Oh man, the fact that their roster starts with this guy's name always cracks me up because this could have been Cam Whitmore. Jalen Hood-Schifino, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, Gabe Vincent, Bronny James, Jackson Hayes, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Christian Wood, and nobody else is really worth mentioning. All right, what are your thoughts?
They're going to do the same thing they've done the last few years. I'm done talking about this clown show, so I'm going to go under 43.5. They will make the playoffs, and they'll finish third in this division.
Under 43.5 with LeBron James on the team?
Yes, dude. Yes. Because I'm sick of this team. I'm sick of the sideshow. Like, I understand
It doesn't matter. They still keep winning more than 41 games, dog.
We'll see. A lot of teams got better.
They were bad last year, and they won 47.
Whatever, dude.
Dude, 43.5 is crazy. I can get LeBron James at 43.5. Give me the fucking over all goddamn day. He's hitting that. 40. The guy has to go 500. This team isn't bad. Like, that's what, like, the way people talk about it, you would think the sky is fucking falling. But the team isn't bad. Last year they weren't bad. The year before they weren't bad. But it's literally, it's the most toxic shit ever. If you don't win the championship, it's a fucking failure of a season. No, dude, LeBron, 43.5, easy fucking money. Smashed the over on that all damn day. Bronny James should not be in the NBA. He should be in the G League. And even then, he probably shouldn't even be in the G League. Have you seen his stats in the preseason?
No, like I said.
Would you like to average how many points? Would you like to guess? Would you like to average how many points? You probably could. Would you like to guess how many points he's averaging?
2.1.
Nah, lower.
1.1.
Lower.
0.
Too low. You've gone too far. Yeah, it was 0.7. So I'll give you that one. Dog. He's there based on nepotism.
Honestly, I think like I've always disliked. Not always. I used to like LeBron a lot, but to me, what got me this year is seeing him talk about like he's saying told a story about when he was watching his son play when he was like 5, and he did a move and he looked at Savannah and he's like, "This guy's got it. He's gonna make it." Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
He's
like, shut the fuck up. We know that your son is only where he is because of his last name. Nobody's buying your bullshit anymore.
It was the same thing with Michael Jordan's kids. At least they did better in college, though.
Just like shut the fuck up, bro. Like, I'm done with him, dude. I can't wait till he's out of and I know he's great. Like we just witnessed one of the greatest players of all time, but his personality makes him such a fucking cunt that I can't deal with him anymore.
Yeah, he has a real bad personality, and his fans are even worse. His fans are even worse. They're insufferable. They're insufferable.
You've let other people eat on your watch, and you talk like you're Adonis, like you're God's gift to earth. Like, no, you're not. You're not. You're mediocre at basketball. You played for a really long time, and you lost a bunch of championships.
Mediocre.
Oh, he's really good at basketball.
I was like, come on, guy.
He's a fucking bum, dude. I'm sitting here and I want him out the league. Go play in China. Go be Stephon Marbury.
Shout out Starberry. We wasn't expecting a Starberry reference on this. Look, dude, it'll be sad when LeBron's out of the league, but it'd also be awesome because his fans have been insufferable for so long. Because I blame ESPN. Right? ESPN hitched their wagon to LeBron. They said he was going to make them the most money, and he did because they spoon-fed him down our throat, and they started the toxic GOAT debate. And I always said, I was like, his career's not over. Why are you guys getting blue in the face? His career isn't over. Let him finish out his career. By the end of it, I always, maybe not always, but by the time he was in his third season with the Heat, I said, if you would just let his career finish out, you probably get to go. But he's in the discussion, and for some reason, that's not good enough for people. It's fucking crazy. But 43.5 is crazy with LeBron James.
Yeah, they just won 33 2 years ago. So
it's great. Yeah, dude, that's because everyone was hurt. That's when that was the year they missed the playoffs. Dude, they're winning more than 43.5. And I'm betting everything. I don't assume people are going to be hurt. But, dude, over. Yeah, and make the playoffs for sure.
All right,
that puts me 10, right? It puts me 10. I'm not just picking bets here.
Yep, 10.
Yeah.
All right, so we moved on from the Lakers, moving into the Los Angeles Clippers. Finished first last year. Projected to finish fifth this year. Jermaine will get into that why later. Finals odds plus 8,000 to win the division, plus 850 to make the playoffs, plus 180 to miss the playoffs, minus 225. That over-under is 40.5.
Bro, I don't know what to do with this team. James Harden returned on a 2-year deal. Terrence Mann agreed to a 3-year extension. I think that's a good deal. Ivica Zubac, 3-year extension. I've always loved that guy. I think he's just a good quality center to have on an NBA team. They brought in Mo Bamba on a 1-year deal. Can't believe he's still kicking around. It's like trying to make JT Thor happen. Nicholas Batum came in on a 2-year deal. Chris Dunn signed and traded there from the Utah Jazz. Love to see Chris Dunn get just the second career out of nowhere. He got picked up by the Jazz because they desperately needed someone to start at the guard position, and he played lights out for them. And the best part is he plays great defense. Derek Jones Jr. came over from the Mavericks, also plays great defense, and Kevin Porter Jr. agreed on a deal. Again, we're trying to make fetch happen with that guy. Departures, Paul George joined the 76ers. Mason Plumlee joined the Suns. Daniel Theis joined the Pelicans, and Russell Westbrook was traded to the Jazz. Thoughts, Eric? Oh, wait, hold on. I can go through the team for you. 1 second. So they have James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Mo Bamba, Bones Highland, Amir Coffey, Chris Dunn, Cam Christie, Terrence Mann, PJ Tucker, who stepped away from the team until they could figure that shit out. Norman Powell, Nicholas Batum, Ivica Zubac, Derek Jones Jr., and Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah. So I will say one positive thing about this team. They're going to have a dope stadium.
It's going to be sick. We got to go catch a game, big fella.
Outside of that they don't have a bad roster. They have good guys. They have 2 studs in James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and they have great guys, great role player guys who can step up in big moments. Problem is I think those guys that need to step up in big moments are going to have to play a lot more than,
Okay, everyone knows it. Take Kawhi Leonard out of this team.
Yeah, take him off the roster.
Just take him off. If he'll play however number of games he is. Do they hit over 40 with this roster without Kawhi?
And that's where I'm at with it. So I'm going to go under, no, and 5th.
And, man, they have nothing but competitors.
Yeah, and a great coach.
Fantastic coach. And
they're playing in
James Harden's a phenomenal regular season player.
But it's a little bit of hate, a little bit of just.
It's a lot of hate. Go ahead, just say a lot.
Your main player is not going to be on the court for 60 games.
60?
Yeah.
I don't know about 60.
50 games. So let's keep it pushing. Like, they're screwed.
Yeah, but Jeff Van Gundy's the assistant coach now, dog.
Let's give an extension to a guy who's only played 30% of the games he can play for. It's dumbass franchises. The fact that guy is still making hundreds of millions of dollars to not play basketball is disgusting.
He's so good, though.
Who gives a fuck? You can't play. And I'll say this exact same shit about Joel Embiid. I'm ready for it. I'm angry already.
Yeah, I told you were in a bad mood, and you lied through your teeth and said no.
I'm just like, come on, like if I was a GM, I would take a hard look and be like, look, I know the fans love him. I know this dude's an all. Has he ever been an all-pro?
Kawhi?
Yeah,
I'm safe to say he has.
Okay, in the one season he played enough games to be an all-pro. He made an all-pro. Cool, but
back when there was no games limit.
Yeah, but like, come on, man, like make a business decision for your franchise to set yourself up.
They did. It's not the one that you think. They made the decision to sell seats and jerseys and deals. They made a decision. It's just not the one you would want from a winning basketball games perspective. But they made a decision.
All right, well, then I got nothing else to say about this team. They'll finish fifth.
Why are you so grumpy, dog?
I'm not grumpy. Just like this is the part of the podcast where I'm not going to be like the Lakers and the Clippers are the bane of my existence. Like I might hate both those organizations more than I hate the Dallas Cowboys. And that's saying a lot. Because I do plan on killing myself the next time the Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Dude, relax. Relax. We'll sacrifice Snoop Dogg instead. Thank God. By the way, apologies to Snoop. I lost my cool. I shouldn't wish anyone dead, but I won't miss you.
I don't want the doctor that keeps clearing Kawhi Leonard dead.
Nobody's clearing him. That's why he's not playing games, Eric. You can only be angry about one thing, dog. The doctors ain't cleared him. That's the problem. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go under. This team got worse. Look, you don't lose Paul George and not get worse. You know what I mean? So
for the 41 games you have him, yeah.
Oh my God, you're gonna be so fucking annoying this year. It's gonna be so.
It's already
awful.
Started.
It's gonna be so awful. It's gonna be so awful. He's the same guy who's like, I don't care. It's only about the playoffs. But then all regular season, it's a good impression, dude. I think I nailed it. Yeah, under, no, across the board. This team can easily just blow this whole thing up, though, and win the division. And this division, the last few years, has just been really fun. So that's tight. Dude, they let Paul George walk and they have no picks. What does that franchise do? If they go
trying to negotiate with him too, since before the season started. They couldn't get a deal done. Because
they didn't want to give him the same. He didn't want to take the same deal that Kawhi took. Because Kawhi took less than the max. And Paul George was like,
hey, that's a good quality to have.
And Paul George was like, you gave him that much money, you expect me to take the same and I've done more? Because Paul George carried them to the Western Conference Finals.
I know.
Everyone forgets about that. Because everyone gives Paul George a lot of flack. I mean, some of it deserved. The dude's a hooper, though. And he bet on himself, and I think he was sick of not being able to count on Kawhi, ultimately.
Yeah,
so he went to go count on Joel.
I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be negative Nancy, but thank you for saying it.
Dude, Joel has been playing basically 60 games the last few years. What?
His record is 61.
Yeah, the last few years, I said basically 60 games, Eric.
Nah, I'm going to go look that up. Proceed with what you were talking about.
No, we're moving into the next division. Why are you looking that up? We got to move into I'll pull it up when we get to that.
All right, so moving into the Atlantic Division, home of the 2023-24 NBA champions, the Boston Celtics.
Ooh, does that chap your ass to say out loud?
No, because they've done it so many times that it just whatever, dude.
Yeah, not when you're alive, though.
They've done it twice since I was alive. It's tragic. All right. So last year, the Atlantic Division, Boston Celtics finished first. The New York Knicks finished second. Pussies. The Philadelphia 76ers finished third. The Brooklyn Nets finished fourth. And the Toronto Raptors finished fifth. For this season, the Boston Celtics are projected to finish first again. They have the best odds to win the finals, repeat at plus 295. They are clear-cut favorites to win this division at minus 160. To make the playoffs is minus 10,000 to miss the playoffs is plus 2,500, and they have the best or the highest over under this year at 58.5.
No way, you can't call that foul.
Foul.
Kobe White went straight up and got all ball. Ref!
Let's get into it.
Preseason hoops, dude. Boston Celtics, dude, like, they're a favorite for a reason. And I think they're going to be the first repeat champion we've had since Golden State. Mm-hmm. Before that, what? It was Miami?
Miami.
And before that was the Lakers?
San Antonio. No, the Lakers. The San Antonio Spurs never won back-to-back. That's crazy.
Tim Duncan took breaks, dog.
Yeah, he went off.
Boston re-signed Sam Hauser to a 4-year deal. Luke Cornett on a 1-year deal. Neemias Quetta on a multi-year deal. Why does everyone else get a number and then that one says multi-year? I fucking hate these websites. This is an NBA. This is NBA.com. Take some fucking pride in how you present your shit. Jason Tatum, 5-year max extension. Well-deserved. Xavier Tillman, 2-year deal. Derek White, 4-year extension. They added Lonnie Walker on a 1-year deal. And Svi Mikuluk joined the Jazz. Their complete roster is Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, some guy named Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Ron Harper Jr., shout out the nepotism, Lonnie Walker IV, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Xavier Tillman, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, Al Horford, Jaden Springer out of Tennessee.
Go
ahead, Eric.
They didn't get worse. They added some other players. I'll say this. They're going to win the division.
They added Lonnie Walker. You said they added other players.
They're going to win the division. They'll make the playoffs. They're going to go over 58.5. And the only thing that I'm going to say
over 58.5?
Yeah, they're just that good. But what I was going to say, also rudely interrupted.
60 wins is a lot, dog. I feel like you don't understand that.
I understand.
No, because when you're like, oh, they only won 60 games. We had a whole conversation about that the other last season.
That's what I expect from my team. But
yeah, ridiculous.
All I'm gonna say is Jason Tatum's not their best player, and whatever. It's a fucking shit show up there. But they'll win the division. They'll probably win the championship again. There's not much juice. Plus 295. Like, it's not to me. I mean, cool. Put 100 on it, see what happens. But
plus 295 is great, dog.
Yeah.
Just because we're looking at plus 10,000 or 100,000 on another guy.
What can you say about them? They great coaching, superstar players, great role players, shitty fan base, shitty city, number one offense, number one defense. Nothing's changed. They're going to run it back.
Yeah, I mean, they're the odds-on favorite for a reason. I think Boston repeats.
Yeah.
I really do. My argument against the Boston Celtics every year finally faltered last year. It wasn't until one of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown established themselves as the alpha that this team was going to be able to win it all. Ironically enough, we all expected Jason Tatum to be the guy who took that leap, but he disappeared in the playoffs. He had one of the least efficient postseasons I've seen. He did make big shots. He did play big-time defense. He was a team player, as you should be when you're getting paid millions of dollars and competing at the highest level. Way to do the bare minimum, big fella. But it turns out that stabilizing that duo with Drew Holiday and Derek White, and also, the lunch pail man that is Al Horford, was all it took to get the job done. The NBA kind of had it also took a collective bargaining agreement to divide up talent for the Boston Celtics to get the job done as well. So all those factors played into for them to finally get over the hump with this team, and no one will ever be able to take it away from them. And I fully expect them now that the hurdle's off, the proverbial monkey is off their back, that they're going to play free. And I think they are going to fall into what most, championship squads fall under. They'll hit the under because they're not going to take the regular season seriously. Because they understand that when it comes April, May, June, they got to beat a team 4 times. And because of that, I don't see them winning 60 games again. 60 games is a lot, and I don't feel like people understand that. That means you only lost 22 games. So I see them kind of taking a step back from there. But yes, to make the playoffs, yes, to win the division, and yeah, I'll sprinkle some money on them to win it all. Let's go ahead and move it to the next team.
All right, so last year's second place finisher projected to finish second again, the New York Knicks. Finals odds plus 900 to win the division, plus 310 to make the playoffs, minus 4,000 to miss it is plus 1,500. Their over/under is at 52.5 as well. Or sorry, 52.5.
Yeah, so they had a tremendously busy season. So stay with me as I read this word salad to you. So Precious Achiuwa returned on a 1-year deal. OJ Anunoby signed a 5-year deal to return to the squad. Jalen Brunson agreed to a team-friendly 4-year extension, and Jacob Toppin returned on a 2-way deal. Additions, they traded for Mikal Bridges. They gave away a war chest of first-round picks. Fucking bonkers. He is not worth that. It was absolutely crazy to see how much they gave up for him. But they went all in, right? Future draft picks don't help you win right now. So good on them. James Nanji joined via trade with the Hornets. Cameron Payne on a 1-year deal. Landry Shamet on a 1-year deal. And then they traded for Karl Anthony Towns. Departures. Bojan Bogdanovic was traded to the Nets. Charlie Brown was traded to the Hornets. Alec Burks was traded to the Heat. Departed via free agency to the Heat. Mamadi Diakite was signed and traded to the Nets. Keita Bates-Diop was traded to the Timberwolves. Dante DiVincenzo as well. And Julius Randle. Isaiah Hartenstein left in free agency to the Thunder. Daquan Jeffries joined the Hornets. Shake Milton was signed and traded to the Nets. Marcus Morris was waived. And Dwayne Washington Jr. was also traded to the Hornets. Complete Knicks roster after all that. Oh, of course. Why would you take me here? They take me to this weird team stats page. They don't even hyperlink the rosters correctly. Embarrassing. I'm at war with NBA.com. It's just like how is it not a point of pride? This is literally your front facing. Everyone uses the internet now. So they have Packham Dadier. That's a French forward for them. They got Miles McBride, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Jericho Sims, Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, Mitchell Robinson, TJ Warren, Jimmy Butler's bitch, Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns. Thoughts, Eric?
So, with Tom Thibodeau coaching and the player personnel that they brought in, the player personnel that they had, I don't think it'll be quite Boston Celtics level of 1-1 on offense and defense. I think they have the potential to be a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense, and they'll probably be number 1 in hustle if that's a category that you can quantify.
There's some nerd out there who did it.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over on the 52.5. They'll definitely make the playoffs. I have them finishing third on pure bias. Well coached. Brunson's a leader, a star. Mikal Bridges did not do well as a number 1 option. I think coming into this team and being 3rd or 4th option is going to be great for him.
Overrated.
Losing Hartenstein and DiVincenzo, it hurts a little bit, but they got Cat. So I think the ceiling for this team is an NBA championship. Sprinkle a little money on it, plus 900 is not a bad idea. But I have them finishing third. They will make the playoffs, and I think they'll be at like 56 wins.
I don't know how to read this team, man. So they're starting OG Mikal, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Cat. And then I guess they change it when Mitchell Robinson comes back. Isaiah Hartenstein, Dante DiVincenzo, and Julius Randle fit this roster better, in my opinion. But I do love the addition of your center now shoots 40 4% from three and is the best big man shooter of all time. So it's fascinating. Obviously I think they got better. So I'll take over 52.5 there as well, because somebody's got to win a lot of games. They won 50 last year, and do I think they added 2.5 wins? Yeah, I think they added 2.5 wins. I don't know how I like this fit. Cat didn't vibe well with Tibbs when he was in Minnesota, but Cat proved that he could play defense last year, especially if he's paired with another center. What I do like is their versatility from positions. What I don't like is the lack of depth they now have. Consolidating Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle into Karl-Anthony Towns does hurt your depth. And I feel like Isaiah Hartenstein, what he provided for them last year was huge. And, we're kind of we'd be kind of disrespectful to him for everything that he did for that team. So if he can get Cat to buy in, this team is going to be scary. And they're kind of built similar to the Boston Celtics, right? So they added Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday last year, and now the Knicks added Cat and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. And
they've kind of went for the same kind of mold, right? It is a copycat league. I don't imagine they're going to try to get up 53s a game, which is an insane number.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I don't know, man. I'm just not sold on this Knicks team. I don't know why. But yeah, I'll take over. Yes, to make the playoffs. No, to win the division. And I don't think they win it all this year.
One thing I will say, because I thought about the same thing. I was like, we've seen the Cat and Thibodeau experience fail. I think Jimmy had a big part to play at that. And then also,
hell no. They were fucked up before Jimmy got there.
No. Jimmy came in and tried to show them what winning and
carried their weak ass to the playoffs.
I don't think the issue was between Tibbs and Cat. I think the issue was Cat and it was a little bitch. It couldn't handle Jimmy. Right? Full circle to my point is they consulted with Tom. And he was like, I coached him. I'm good with it. And that's what gives me a little, okay, cool. Tom signed off on it for sure. You know what I mean? And I don't think Tom would have signed off on it if he didn't believe that he could work with him. So that's my argument to that. But we'll move into the last year's third place finishing team, the Philadelphia 76ers, projected to finish third again. Finals odds plus 850, to win the division plus 380, to make the playoffs minus 3,000, to miss the playoffs plus 1,300. And they also have a 52.5 for under.
Yeah, so Joel Embiid signed a 3-year extension. Kyle Lowry came back on a 1-year deal. KJ Martin on a 2-year deal. Tyrese Maxey had a 5-year extension, and Kelly Oubre came back on a 2-year deal. Additions, they added Andre Drummond on a 2-year deal, Paul George on a 4-year deal, Eric Gordon on a 2-year deal, Reggie Jackson, Caleb Martin, and Gershon Yabusele. Departures, Nicholas Batum, Mo Bamba both joined the Clippers. Buddy Hield and DeAnthony Melton both joined the Warriors. Cameron Payne joined the Knicks, and Paul Reed was given away for gum. Now with the Detroit Pistons. This roster, they have rookies, Jared McCain, Adam Bona, Max Fiedler, Judah Mintz, Jordan Tucker, Justin Edwards. Tyrese Maxey, KJ Martin, everyone I just named basically, since they re-signed to goddamn everybody. They had nobody on the roster. My boy Ricky Council the Fourth, he balled when I saw them live. And Lester Quinones, he just has a fun name to say. Thoughts on this team, Eric?
So they looked really good last year. Like, they were not on pace with Boston because Boston was setting such a ridiculous pace.
No, dude, they were first in the NBA when Joel Embiid was cooking.
Yeah, and then he was averaging like almost 35 points a game, which is crazy for a big man. And then Jonathan Kuminga, that bitch ass motherfucker, decided to dive at his knees and take his meniscus out. So there's part of where a lot of that Warriors hate comes from. I like the team. I like the additions. Caleb Martin's cool. We've seen what he has down in Miami. I don't know if that's coaching or if he'll bring that same attitude. And then
he had that in college.
Yeah, in college. Okay, cool. And then Drummond fills a massive need. That doesn't need to be explained why. Everybody that listens to this watch fucking basketball.
Is it because he's big?
Yeah.
He feels a mess.
Eric Gordon, cool. Spaces the floor, shoots threes, kind of old. We'll see what he does. Reggie Jackson, good player. Championship pedigree with the Denver Nuggets. The concern with this team is what it is every year. And they just brought in another guy who is often injured. So Paul George, great signing. I was against it mainly because of the injury thing. Not because I don't believe in Paul George. Not because I don't like his game.
Lies.
No, we have a guy who already misses 20 games plus.
Lies.
Why
didn't
would
want
you bring
him.
another one? Anyway.
You didn't want him.
Whatever. There's a lot of hope. Nick Nurse, great coach, good coach, makes adjustments, which Doc never did, so I like that. We were a few stupid referee calls from beating the Knicks in the playoffs last year.
Bro, they fucking hosed you guys.
That series, look, I know it's going to sound like I'm a bitter fan. We lost fair and square, whatever. But
you did it. You didn't. That one you did was fair.
Out of that series on 2 games, the refs.
They wanted the Knicks. They wanted the Knicks.
Anyway, so I have them finishing second in this division. They'll make the playoffs. I think they'll go over 52.5. They won 47 with Joel Embiid only playing like 30 games last year. So, yeah, they're going to be good, man. It's just, are they going to be healthy? If they are, Eastern Conference Finals, here we come, baby. If not, we won't even get out the second
round. So 39 last year, 66, 68. Those were his last 3 seasons.
Yeah?
Yeah. Told you. Oh, dude, he was so good last year.
Yeah. I mean,
he was the best player in the league last year.
If he comes out and does that again, which I think he'll take a little bit of a dip in his numbers, just a little more.
Well, the whole team is better. Eric Gordon averaged 11 last year.
Yeah.
Even though you think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead. You can average 11 when you shoot 16 threes a game.
You think they're greenlighting Eric Gordon for 16 a game?
Philly is. No, look, man, I'm a passionate fan. I love my team. This is the only team I haven't seen win a championship.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm going to root for him hard. I'm probably going to be negative. I don't like the injuries.
Probably.
I don't like the injury-prone players, but I'm excited about the season, and we'll see what happens, man.
This team from last year is infinitely better, and they won 47. Yeah, give me over 52.5.
And infinite shout-outs to Tyrese Maxey. I think he's just a hell of a young player, dude.
He's so good, dude.
Yeah.
He's so good. We got to just start just automatically saying, like, Kentucky guards are just going to hoop.
Yeah. They do.
Because I had no clue what Tyrese Maxey was. I'll be completely honest. I'm plugged in. Every year I'm giving Eric somebody to watch. And he's just like, how did you pick this guy again? I fucking hate you. Blah, 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 blah.
I've never said I hate you to my friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you said it on this podcast.
Shut up, I hate you.
But look, Kelly Oubre Jr., fantastic pickup last year.
I think he's still there, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. They kept him. They added Reggie Jackson, brought back Kyle Lowry. I think that's an underrated key. Like,
it's a high IQ guy.
Point guards who have won championships you want on your bench.
And we have 2 now.
Eric Gordon. I really like what you guys do with this team. And who's this Isaiah Mobley kid? Is that Evan Mobley's brother? That is, right?
Yes.
That is. Damn, they look hella alike. Look at that. 2.3 points per game, dude.
I like Dembona because, Drummond's not going to be around forever. It's a backup and B.
Oh, you'll replace a Dembona, I think. We'll see. I mean, he's a rookie. He's out of UCLA, right?
It doesn't sound like it, but I'm high on the team. I'm just worried about the injuries, man.
It absolutely does not sound like it. I also like that rookie that you got out of Duke, and I know you hate Duke.
No, that McCain kid, I've seen nothing but great shit coming out of camp.
He's zesty, though.
Paul George, yeah, I mean,
he's a little gay.
I'm not okay. I'm sorry. I am okay with you being zesty. I am okay with you being zesty.
My guy said I'm not. Cancel him, people. Cancel him.
Fuck you, cancel me. I don't give a shit.
Dude, it doesn't matter if he's gay, but it does crack. It does crack me up because he puts a little flair on it. I was just like, all right.
Put a little flair on the championship.
Hey, but he's nice though. He's nice, dude.
Kiss him on his mouth if he wins the championship. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, he might like that, dude.
Hey, zesty ass McCain. Fuck that. I'm rooting hard for that kid this year. I want to see him take minutes from
I'm so glad you got out of that fucking bum fest you were in all Just so negative this whole podcast, dude.
Look, I love my team, man. Like,
You were negative in the in the Pacific Division, dog.
Yeah. Look, let me have a moment.
Dog, you came in grumpy. He's like, I got to talk about the fucking Sixers. Fuck this team.
It's just because, like, I know that I want to be unbiased, but I open my mouth and bias just pours out. I try not to be biased this time.
I always say you provide the unflinching and unbiased takes of the podcast, bro. Look, it's fine. I just need you to just not be so toxic towards your own team. You can hate the other teams. That's fine. Keep it going. But god damn, you're exhausting towards your own team. If I had this team, I'd be fucking jumping for joy. I don't give a fuck if somebody gets injured. Are you kidding me? Derrick Rose and Lonzo? I don't give a fuck about injuries, dog. I got this team. I get to watch this team every game. I'd be thrilled,
65
bro.
Games from both my guys.
Doable. It's doable.
And I don't want Paul George to hit the backboard once this year. It's all I'm asking.
Can't help you there, dude. Can't help you there.
He's gonna hit the backboard. Probably against the Knicks in the playoffs, and it's gonna make me want to die. All right. Sorry, we've spent way too much time on this. Did you give us yours?
No, I have not. No, I'm taking over. Yes, to make the playoffs. I have them finishing second.
So assuming the Knicks third.
I'm out. Yeah, I have the Knicks third. I'm out. I just not as high on the Knicks this year. So Paul George, 74 last year, 56 in 2022-23, and then 31 in the 2022-22 season.
Hey, maybe we'll get 81 out of him this year. Well, never mind. He's already fucking injured. All right. So before I set myself up,
Jesus.
Let's move into last year's fifth place team, the Toronto Raptors. They're projected to finish fourth this year, plus 100,000 for the finals, plus 40,000 to win the Atlantic. Plus 600 to make the playoffs, minus 900 to miss the playoffs. 29.5 is their over-under.
Sorry, I'm looking at Paul George news. So we're getting into Toronto.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this team. They always beat the Bulls, dude. Fucking chaps my ass, dude. They're just good at beating us. Also, I love what they did from a retooling perspective on this roster, and obviously we'll get to it when we talk about it. But Scotty Barnes agreed to a 5-year extension. Emmanuel quickly signed a 5-year deal as well. He was one of the main key pieces in the OG Anunoby trade. And then they brought in Garrett Temple. I'm pretty sure he's played for every team on a 1-year deal. Bruno Fernando agreed on a deal. They traded for Davion Mitchell. Great pickup. I'm high on that kid. He plays defense, so of course I'm going to like him. Muhammadu Gueye was waived. Jalen McDaniels was traded to the Kings, then traded to the Spurs and cut and waived. Gary Trent Jr. joined the Bucks. I did think they kind of messed up that situation. They should have traded him for something last year if you weren't going to bring him back. And then Sasha Veznikov, the NHL ice hockey player, was waived by the Toronto Raptors.
Who was voted by the NBA GMs as the best non-NBA player in the world. If that means anything to you.
Best non-NBA player in the world? What does that mean?
That he's a basketball player who plays for a professional league, but he doesn't play in the NBA. He's the best one out of all those guys.
They voted that dude?
Yeah. Sasha Veznikov.
Huh. I wonder why he left. Maybe homesick.
He might just be one of those guys that wants to play in his own country.
You remember Nikola Mirotic?
Yeah, I actually do.
Bro, that dude should have never left. That dude was good as fuck.
Second on that list, I believe, was Nikola Mirotic. Or what's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
What?
Miocic or oh, dude. Give me
Miocic? Stipe?
No.
You're not helping me. While you look that up, here's the roster for the Toronto Raptors. Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Magbo, Jamal Sheed. Those are the rookies that they took this year. They also have Jamison Battle out of Ohio State. Grady Dick, who's drafted last year. He's just pure comedy when it comes to memes. They have Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Bruce Brown, Davion Mitchell, Jacob Pottle, Chris Boucher, Ochai Agbaji, Kelly Olynyk, and Jamius Ramsey. Dude, I think this team's going to be feisty.
All right, here we go. The best international players that are not in the NBA. Sasha Veznikov at 30%, Nikola Mirotic at 23%.
So who I just mentioned.
Yeah, Eddie Tavares at 17%. Nolan Traore at 10%, and Cedi Osman. Cedi Osman. How do you say his name?
Cedi Osman's not in the NBA no more?
This is just the GM poll from this year. And then
Oh.
Boban Marjanovic and Armel Traore also got votes.
Huh. He gave up, I guess. Yes, so Cedi Osman was a Cleveland Cavalier guy. And
Yeah.
my boy Arthur was always trying to hype him up to me. Same way I was with Patrick Williams. And I was like, dude, no, it's not happening. Thoughts on the Toronto Raptors?
Man, I'm just going to go under on the 29.5. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll finish fourth in this division. They're just in a rebuild, in my opinion.
I got the over.
You got the over?
I think they make the play-in.
Shit.
Yeah, so give me that plus 600 to make the play-in, baby.
Ooh.
Obviously, they're not winning shit other than that. Here's your play-in L, dog.
I don't know. I don't really have much to say about the team just because I don't really know what they got. Like, they got a bunch of guards.
Bro, they got so look, Kelly Olynyk as a fulcrum, as a big man who passes and runs the offense. That dude averages like 5-6 assists a year, and he splashes 3-pointers. Kelly Olynyk's severely underrated. Does he get traded? Who knows? Ochai Agbaji was the kid out of Kansas. He's a 3-point shooter. He's kind of struggled to find his footing in the NBA, but now he has minutes in front of him. Chris Boucher, tall center who's developing a 3-point shot. Jacob Poeltl, I think he's one of the best centers in the NBA. Davion Mitchell, fantastic defensive guard. Bruce Brown, defensive guard, playmaker. We saw him in that Denver Nuggets run. Probably another candidate to get traded. But then they have RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Scotty Barnes, right? As kind of their three-headed monster. They have Grady Dick coming in off the bench. And this is typically a team that drafts really, really well. So this Jacoby Walter kid out of Baylor, 6'5" guard. Jonathan Mogbo, 6'9" forward. I actually really like what they're doing up there now. I'm not saying they win a ton of games, but I think 29.5 is too low, and I think Scotty Barnes he's now been handed the team, and Scotty Barnes can now be the main guy on this team. And I think because of that, it's going to be like, I think we'll see a tremendous step forward from him. I expect him to make the All-Star game this year. And if he doesn't make the All-Star game, I'll be disappointed in him, and I'll just continue to talk shit about him from there. Emmanuel Quickley is a Kentucky guard.
So he should be good.
And now it's his offense to run,
Yeah,
right? And RJ Barrett is the third guy. I like this team. I like the roster construction. I like the way they fit together. And I think it's just going to be a bunch of young guys just going up there. Nobody talks about them in Toronto because it's not a North American. It is a North American team, but it's not an American team. And then Davion Mitchell, if he can develop any kind of something, which the Raptors are very good at developing players, right? See Pascal Siakam, see OG Anunoby, see DeMar DeRozan, see Kyle Lowry, see
Chris Bosh.
Serge Ibaka. Well, Serge Ibaka was with the Thunder, but Chris Bosh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, this is a pretty well run organization. So, it all comes down to really like, what do I expect from Darko, right? Mm-hmm. Rajakovic, who's the head coach up there, who's absolute trip when it comes to the media, because he's just nothing like any of the other NBA coaches, and I fucking love it. But yeah, I think they actually get a play-in game purely because of just how dismal this is. I mean, Wizards, no shot. Detroit Pistons, no shot. Brooklyn Nets, no shot. So then it comes down to Atlanta, Charlotte, Chicago, and Toronto. And if Chicago goes the route that we fully anticipate them to go, then it kind of lends itself to Toronto being the 10th team in the play-in tournament, kind of overachieving their expectations.
So I have Chicago not selling and them taking that 10th spot. That's where I'm at with it. But if they do sell, I'll rock with your Raptors.
Yeah, I mean, it's all selling dependent. Look, dude, if Chicago doesn't sell, that 27.5 is the easiest money in all the land. I don't care how bad a defense we play. I don't care how bad a defense we play. Like, we're winning 35 games with this squad, right? We're doing the same thing we did the last few years. We'll be right there in the play-in. We'll probably win a play-in game and then get beat by the Miami Heat, because that's just what happens. But that's all I got out of the Toronto Raptors. There's one of my teams that I'm looking forward most to watch, because minutes have opened up for guys, and I'm expecting them to take that leap.
I know what that means.
What?
Be a lot of Raptors games on television.
Act like you were mad watching the Utah Jazz last year.
Not really. To watch. All right. So last year's fourth place finishing team in this division, the Brooklyn Nets, projected to finish fifth, plus 100,000 for the finals, plus 60,000 to win the division, plus 3,000 to make the playoffs, minus 20,000 to miss it, over under 19.5. This is a full-on rebuild team, stacked with hella picks, and a projected to be great draft class coming.
To play the game.
Doesn't want to play the game for you?
No, dude. Taking away my Lonzo Ball, dude. How dare they? Additions and subtractions, and Jesus, this team's not exciting. Let's just wrap this up. Nick Claxton returned on a new deal. Keon Johnson, Trendon Watford. They brought in Bojan Bogdanovic and Shake Milton via sign and trade with the Knicks. They traded for Zaire Williams from the Grizzlies, and Killian Hayes came in on a one-year deal after departing the Detroit Pistons. Departures: Keita Bates-Diop was in the sign and trade to the Knicks. Mikal Bridges also went to the Knicks, and then Lonnie Walker IV went to the Celtics. Their team, as currently constructed, is hodgepodge group of hoopers that should get the number one overall pick. Dariq Whitehead, Zaire Williams, Cameron Johnson, Killian Hayes, Trendon Watford, Ben Simmons, Amari Bailey, Shake Milton, Jalen Martin, Dennis Schroeder, Day'Ron Sharpe, Noah Clowney, Jalen Winston, Tyrese Martin, Cam Thomas, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nick Claxton, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Keon Johnson. Doug, what is happening here? It's a 2-point game.
I feel bad, bro.
Fucking stupid internet. Bro, like, of that list of players, how many of those players would be like the seventh or eighth man on another team?
Most of them.
Most of them?
No, I'm just kidding. None of them really. Maybe Cam Johnson.
Not maybe. He's one for sure.
Yeah, maybe the other Cam.
The other Cam Thomas.
Yeah, Cam Thomas. Maybe.
Man.
I'm saying maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Dorian Finney-Smith. He would.
Yeah, he could. Like, I mean, he did it for Dallas. So,
Bojan at age 35?
No, not at 35. Oh, Nick Claxton. He could be a starter.
Oh, Nick Claxton for sure.
Yeah. So no disrespect. Didn't he just sign like a 4 year something?
He signed him. They paid him.
Yeah,
that man has been there for like 12 wins. So
probably gonna be their guy this year.
It's like, damn, dude. They really don't have like. They went all in on this Cooper Flag shenanigans, bro.
I did pick Washington to win the first pick, but Brooklyn can easily get it.
I think Brooklyn's. I think everyone. We're so used to kicking Washington because of Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma and just the shenanigans that was that team. And then they traded Denny Advia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who played? He was like developing into a 3-and-D kind of winger for them. But this team is the absolute worst in the NBA.
Yeah.
You have to do something special to tank with this team. So 19.5 though, man.
I took the under.
You took the under?
Yeah. I mean, the Pistons won 14. The Sixers have won 10. I could see them winning 15.
I mean, there's only 2 teams that finished under that number last year.
I think they will do.
Hold on. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to go.
Do it!
I'm going to go to the year prior. So we had Detroit was 17, but Detroit's the worst run franchise in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
So Detroit was the only one 2 years ago. And nobody was under that number 3 years ago. But this team is just devoid of talent, dude. You know, fuck it. Let's get sweaty. Let me get the unders. That way, every time they win, my asshole puckers a little bit, dude. Just to make me feel alive. Yeah, and then no across the board. Division order: Boston, Philly, New York, Toronto, Brooklyn.
We have the same order. What?
You have Philly going second after all that shit you talked?
Yeah.
Fucking wild. Here we go.
Dak. Every time somebody says that now, I'm like, oh, Dak.
They say Dak now when someone.
No, I in my head I just hear because he says it, here we go, and then he hikes the ball.
Oh, that yeah, dude. I say here we go now because of Dak.
So now when I hear that, I'm like, oh, where's Dak at? Where's the pick at?
Oh, what? Where did he get his second dribble from?
All right, let's close the show out, brother.
Hold on.
Oh, all right, bet.
Come on, get the board.
I'm trying to help you out so you can focus on the game.
Nah, dude, they can listen to me watch the Bulls.
All right, bet.
Dog, I'm so hyped. Basketball's back. You got anything else for the 10s to 10s? Dark horses?
Dark horses, I would say for the East, let's go. Is Indiana a dark horse?
Yeah. Would they be in top 6 of DraftKings odds? Probably not. Right?
So I would say Indiana is a dark horse just because they play so fast and can score so much. If healthy, Philly's a dark horse, too.
To win it all, you're talking. So that's what we're talking about. Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just dark horse for anything. You got any dark horse all-star candidates?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think here.
It doesn't have to be from the divisions we just covered.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
This is overarching. I have one for you that's going to piss you off.
Why?
Because you're going to be mad.
Who is it?
Jordan Poole.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, we got to go. I think she needs to go.
Jeremy Sochan.
Jeremy Sochan for All-Star?
Yeah. On a double-double, 15 and 12 a night.
Bro, get your own guys.
I'm just kidding.
Get your own guys.
I really don't have any dark horses for All-Stars. I think dark horse, for MVP is going to be Jalen Brunson. If that team wins 58 games and he's leading them, I think Jalen Brunson would be a dark horse MVP candidate. I don't know if you can call him a dark horse, but he's not one of the favorites.
Yeah, he's not a favorite for sure. He's definitely
a dark horse. But Jalen Brunson, man, I don't like him right now.
Well, it's because he's good.
Yeah.
And nobody likes a good Knicks team.
But
if you have an Eastern Conference team, you don't like a good Knicks team.
Everybody says
they're lucky the Bulls aren't.
There's a lot of players that people compare to Iverson, and by no means am I saying this kid is Iverson, but he reminds me of the attitude and the toughness and I'm going to go out and get it if my team's not doing anything.
He gives me more Mark Jackson vibes, dude.
Yeah? I'm just talking about the mental toughness and the attitude.
It's the New York Hooper. Like, Jalen Brunson's the quintessential New York Hooper. That's what he is. You know what I mean?
Look, man, I wish he didn't have to play against the Sixers in the playoffs last year.
Of course.
Soured on him, but I like the kid, man. And I that's saying a lot considering back in the day, I may have rooted for North Carolina and he bopped their ass in the tournament. So.
Rooting against someone is a sign of respect, though.
Okay, cool. Then fuck that guy.
You know what I mean? Just like in pro wrestling, like if you hate the bad guy, it's because he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that's what Jalen Brunson does. So, no, he's good. That's a good pick for sleeper. But we'll deep dive NBA next week when we look ahead to the start of the season.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up. Follow us on Instagram, the artist formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room303. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things socials and wherever you get your podcasts. For myself, Jermaine Colon Mendes, for my co-hosts, for the executive producers, the EPE, and we'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.